In their book, Active Hope, Joanna Macy and Chris Johnstone, quote, identify 3 stories being enacted in our time. The first assumes that our society is on the right track and that we can carry on with business as usual. The second reveals the destructive consequences of the business as usual model and the progressive unraveling of our biological, ecological, and social systems. The third is about the groundswell of response to danger and the multifaceted transition to a life-sustaining civilization. Recognizing that we can choose the story that we live from can be liberating. Finding a good story to take part in, it adds to our sense of purpose and to our aliveness, end quote. So this is the ultimate high-stakes choose-your-own-adventure story. The songwriters Sarah Nutting and Carisha Longacre, who composed our opening hymn, they have chosen. In this great turning, they tell us, we must learn to lead in love. I think we all have also chosen the story of the great turning, and that's why we're here. We shall be known by the company we keep, and we have all chosen to keep company together at Saltwater Unitarian Universalist Church because we want to choose the story of the great turning. Many of us here have done quite well with business as usual, and yet we see the evidence of the unraveling all around us. Many of us have felt what it is like to be ground down by business as usual. And we know that we deserve better, and our fellow beings deserve better. However we personally have experienced the story of our time, the UU values that live in our hearts call us to live the story of the great turning. We value transformation, which tells us that change is possible and we are a part of creating it. We value justice, which demands a world free of the systemic oppressions that are part and parcel of business as usual. We value generosity, and we want to see our abundance go toward meeting everyone's needs. We value equity, which demands each of us get not the exact same thing, but exactly what we each need to thrive. We value pluralism, which says our way forward will be clearer if we include more perspectives. Our community will be more vibrant if it includes more diversity. We value interdependence, which reminds us that wherever we're going there together. And what we do individually and collectively can and will impact the greater whole. And the greatest of these is love. As Unitarian Universalists, love is the power that holds us together and is at the center of our shared values. We are accountable to one another for doing the work of living our shared values through the spiritual discipline of love. We are the ones who circle round to tend these fires, the fires of our values, the fire of love. Now, I believe our values call us to live the story of the great turning, whether or not we think we can succeed in creating it. But also, I would like to see us succeed. And to do that, we need each other. We need all those who share our values to find each other and join us as we learn to lead in love. And that means we need to practice inclusion. We need to make space for all different kinds of people here, people with different beliefs, different life experiences, who nonetheless want to circle round and tend these fires with us. We need to make Saltwater a church and Unitarian Universalism a faith where those who share our values and who join us in our covenant know that they belong by our words and by our actions. With our new member joining ceremony today, we have enacted a ritual of inclusion, where those who have freely chosen to be among us add their names to a list that includes everyone who has come before. And when that list fills up our book, we'll just buy another one. There is always room to include more. But the work of including these folks in our community, that work continues to unfold as we listen to you, as we learn from you, as we hear your needs and see if we can meet them. Our new member ceremony is a ritual of inclusion, but the practice of inclusion continues. Reverend Dr. James Luther Adams was one of the great Unitarian theologians of the 20th century, and he is a part of my spiritual lineage, as he was the teacher and mentor to Reverend Dr. Meg Richardson, who was teacher and mentor to me during my time in seminary. JLA, as he was often known, was studying theology in Germany in the 1930s, and he witnessed that country descend into fascism. He tells a story of watching a Nazi rally and asking some of the folks gathered there questions about the party that would have gotten him beat up if an anti-fascist passerby had not intervened, whisking JLA off to his tenement apartment, where he and his family shared what little they had, including some safety tips, for this naive young American who thought he could just say anything he thought on the public street. As JLA watched repression take hold in Germany, he became convinced that the power of a democratic society lies in the company we choose to keep, what he called voluntary association. Things like unions, service organizations like Rotary clubs, and of course, freely chosen liberal religious congregations. James Luther Adams believed in the power of voluntary associations because he saw the Nazis eliminate or co-opt those associations to assert their power. We shall be known by the company we keep. And the Nazis pretty much made it illegal to keep company with anyone but them. See, fascism relies on exclusion. It identifies a scapegoat group or groups and says, those people aren't like us, all our problems are because of them, let's get them out of here. Choosing to be part of an inclusive community that operates as a direct democracy grounded in our shared values, where we ask questions together and promise to listen to marginalized voices, these are acts of resistance to the great unraveling, and this is how we enact the great turning together. Indeed. What a time to be alive. Time for us to learn to lead in love. And part of doing that is truly being there for each other and allowing others to be there for you. The only way we can be part of the great turning is in community, because it's impossible to accomplish great things or really much of anything alone. There will be times when the unraveling looms large in your vision. But I hope you will stay grounded in those times, in the way that this community, these people together, are enacting the great turning. Salties, new and old, thank you for being a part of this beloved community that works together to bend the arc of the moral universe toward a world that truly reflects our shared values. Always remember that you are not alone. We are in this together, all having freely chosen to be the great turning together. Amen, Ashe, and blessed be.